I'm out here doing a little bit of prospecting, and smell that? Smell yellow gold.
Whoa! Lot of living and loving, paying the bills, keeping things real, man, you know the deal. But when it's time for me to unwind, I gotta go someplace where the sun can shine, and there ain't no better place than out in the country. There's gold in them hills, and I'm gonna find it. It's a sight to see. You can't believe how the color of gold makes you lose control. Well, there's gold in them hills, and I've got the fever. And there ain't no other place that I'd rather be. My friends come down and enjoy hanging out, and the kids are knee deep in the sand by the creek. Yeah, we're chasing the dog, let's put another log on the fire. There's times like these that make it all worth the while to me. There's gold in them hills, and I'm gonna find it. It's a sight to see. You can't believe how the color of gold makes you lose control. Well, there's gold in them hills, and I've got the fever. And there ain't no other place that I'd rather be. When the night comes down, we're all sitting around, playing guitars under the stars, singing about the nugget I've been dreaming about. And I say even the picture of it weighed 5 pounds, and it's right under the next rock, I do believe. There's gold in them hills, and I'm gonna find it. It's a sight to see. You can't believe how the color of gold makes you lose control. Well, there's gold in them hills, and I've got the fever. And there ain't no other place that I'd rather be. No other place that I'd rather be.
Now what happens is your gold being heavy, we want it to work its way down to the bottom and then get trapped right in behind these little traps right here and wash the light stuff off. And that's the basic gold catcher gold pan right there. And I happen to have me some material that I got from my secret spot.
Gold Fever Adventures Radio is brought to you in part by TNT Outpost. Getting gold has never been easier. ICMJ, a monthly magazine for gold prospectors. And Gold Fever Adventures Campground, where gold prospectors gather. Hey, guess what?
What?
You're on.
Oh, hello everybody. My name's Danny. Welcome to Gold Fever Adventures. It is April the 13th today. Did I do a good job?
You did a good job.
I knew I would. Okay, I'll take over. You can lead now.
Okay, you're going to do the whole show?
Yeah, I'll do it all.
Sit down. Okay. Anyways, welcome everyone. April the 13th, another Wednesday. Let's see who's all in this chat room here. Paul, welcome, Paul. Daniel. Yes, my adventures are going well, except for today. I'll get to that in a moment. David, Charlie, Randy, Nathan Wood, hello there. And I believe that's everybody that's right there. I see our guest just popped on in there. So today is April the 13th, like I said. Here's what's happening today. I got to tell you all this stuff. Day in history. 1997, Tiger Woods became the first or the youngest golfer to ever win the Masters. Wow, that was 1997. He must have been a young chap. In 1978, at Yankee Stadium, they gave away thousands of Reggie bars to fans who later tossed them out onto the field when Reggie Jackson hit a home run. The game was delayed while they had to clean up. You know, I've never even heard of a Reggie bar. There's not a whole lot of famous birthdays today. 1946, Al Green, he was a singer. That was it. And if it's your birthday, well, hey, happy birthday to you too. So I'm still out on my adventures. I'm up here at Meadview area, Lake Mead, south of Lake Mead. For those of you that know where that's at, they're on the Arizona side up here. I went out looking for gold today. I've been up here for, I don't know, 12 days maybe so far camping, and I have found 16 pieces of gold. The biggest one was just under a gram, so everything is smaller than a gram. But I have found a lot of them. Today I spent several hours and I didn't find any gold today. So I was really disappointed today. So yes, Randy, I saw Randy in their Beer 30. So generally it's an 8:05 Wednesday night, but you know what? Since I found no gold today, you know what I'm doing now? I'm going to have me some wine. And you know why I'm going to have me some wine? Because I'm going to be whining a lot because I never found any gold. Sweet pineapple. So, anyways, that's what's happening. Let me see what's going on here. Let's see. Who did I miss there? Richard. Hello, Richard. Chris Lane. Welcome. Dennis. Hello. All right. I wished I had heavy pockets, but anyway, I never did find a lot. So, hey, cheers, everybody. Another Wednesday. Hope your Wednesday is going great. Hope you've had a great week so far. That's not bad stuff. That's pretty good. Anyways, our guest tonight. We have a guest. Can you believe it? Brittany Self. I believe she's been on before once upon a time. The infamous, the one, the only. Anyways, let's just bring her in and so you guys don't have to listen to me yak anymore. How's that? Let me find add to the stream here. There she is. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Hey, all right. How you doing?
Good. Where's your sidekick?
Gone.
Gone. Well, I'm glad that you're bringing out the wine because I had to bring out the liquid courage too. So.
Hey, all right. Cheers.
Cheers.
So, for those that don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
All right. Well, I am Brittany. I am known as Selfies and Shark's Teeth on YouTube, Instagram. I do it all. I do some metal detecting, fossil hunting, bottle collecting, all the treasure hunting. If it's involved with treasure hunting and finding all kinds of fun history and good stuff, then count me in. But I'm not quite on their level yet. I haven't found any gold, but that is on the bucket list for sure. So I got your tail end of your story. You went out and found just a little bit of gold, but nothing to write home about. And so therefore you're drinking your wine because you're whining.
That's right.
That's right. I understand. If I had $1 for every time I went out fossil hunting or metal detecting and didn't come home with much, I wanted to whine and cry too. So I understand.
Yeah. So you I remember your last time you found some pretty big ass shark teeth.
Yeah, we do. I think our biggest one in the collection is about 5.5 inches. So, but we're actually so last time I talked to you guys, we were in Beaufort, South Carolina, and now we are in North Carolina. We got moved to a different military base. And so we're kind of in between houses and duty stations and all that stuff. So I'm actually in Western North Carolina right now, and but we're going to be in Eastern North Carolina. So a little far from you guys, but we're in limbo right now. So I have not had a chance to do as much treasure hunting as I've wanted to, but I have definitely done some because I get the itch real bad and I got to get out there. And especially when that spring fever started to hit, the warm weather came along and it's just like, you got to get outside and do something. It don't matter what you're doing. Just go do something.
Absolutely. So I know you brought, there's David. Welcome, David. Don, hello. Herb. Welcome. So yeah, did you bring that big ass teeth to show everybody and tell us about that?
I do have it, but I did not get it out with me. You want me to grab it?
Sure.
Okay, let me go grab it.
And while she's going to go grab that big ass teeth, I'll just say cheers again. Let's see, Bullet. Okay. Terry Curry, welcome. Oh yeah, it's just been another one of them days. Been out here gold prospecting, out on a private mining claim, Gold Fever Prospecting Club, chilling. There's a few people out here. I'm surprised the amount of people that are out here looking for gold. Seems like a lot of people are finding it though. Not everybody, but I've seen some pretty nice pieces that people have been pulling off out here. So, Sean, welcome, Sean. So, Brittany's have to go grab her shark teeth. She loves to collect shark teeth. I see she's got one snow ski in the back, a walking shoe. It looks like to me. I wonder if you only need one to walk in, or if you put one on and just hop. And there she is. Do you that ski in the back shoe? Is that just one?
The what?
The ski, the snow shoe.
Oh, wait. This?
Yeah.
So that is an actual. That's a ladder rack, or an apple tree ladder. My grandfather used to own an apple orchard here in the town that I live in. And we cut this one down to be about 6 feet, but they're actually anywhere from like 20 to 30 feet long because they put them way up in these apple trees, and that's what they climb in order to pick the apples. And so when my grandfather passed away, we took a lot of the apple boxes, the apple ladders, things like that, and just kind of handed them out to the family, and we use them as just decoration and just memorabilia and, things to remember him by. But this apple ladder is probably, I think, from about the 1940s. I think he bought it, and I think it was purchased from my great-grandfather in 1934. And then, so they've just been passed down from generation to generation. But when he passed, we cut them down to about 6 feet tall to fit in a house, and we use them as blanket racks. But they're very old and definitely keepsakes. So this is a very sentimental piece to our family. So
I see that now that you mentioned that. When I first saw it, I thought it was one of them snow ski or snow shoes that you stand on.
And they're very, I don't know that I would want to climb it right now. The top pieces, some of the top, we've had to kind of reconstruct and just put it together just to kind of keep it intact. But so now it's used for stockings at Christmas and blankets for decoration and things like that. So it's definitely a keepsake, and it's definitely a very special piece in our family. I think this is my mom's, but I have one, and I think all the cousins and aunts and uncles, they have one. So we went out to the orchard one day and everybody just picked out which one they wanted, and now they're in our house. But we turned one apple ladder into about 3 or 4 different ones to fit in the house because they're that big. I mean, they're huge. They're ginormous. But it's got, like, if you look at it, it's got like a distressed, like burnt red color to it. It's really beautiful. So it's much more than just a little, you can go on Amazon and buy one of those blanket racks, but this one has much more memories to it. So
that's cool.
But yes. So yeah, I pulled out all kinds of stuff that I had with me and did not even think about to bring out the Mac Daddy. I don't know what I was thinking. So I felt like I was prepared, but I really wasn't. But so my primary hobby when we moved to Beaufort, South Carolina, was I got into shark's teeth hunting, and basically used to just beachcomb with the family when we would go to the beach and stuff like that. And find the little micros, the little tiny guys that you find on the beach when you go and stuff like that. And they're all great, but once I realized that I was in the threshold of like megalodons and the big teeth, like 3 inches plus, I was like, all right, let's see what we can find. So I started doing my research and linked up with some people, and we just got onto some sites and where the old ocean floor used to be. So rivers, creeks, things that people be like, oh, what beach are you at? I'm not at a beach. Some of these places are 40 miles inland, and you dig down 4 or 5 feet and you pop out these guys. So this tooth is 5.5 inches on the dot, and it is from a megalodon, and they are now extinct. There's controversy whether it is from the great white ancestors, but it went through lots of changes before it became the actual megalodon. But this tooth probably weighs about a pound, and it is beautiful and massive, and it has this beautiful sharp serrations on the side. Millions of years old. I mean, these guys this thing has been in the ground for a very long time, which is what happens to the enamel when it is just involved with water exposure, different mineralizations and stuff like that. It gets eroded, and the enamel starts to peel off and stuff like that. So this one is actually in really good condition given the age and the type of exposure that it's had. So
Chris had a question. Being that Arizona used to be underwater, inland sea, are there shark's teeth there?
Arizona, yes, but you're going to have to go real deep for those. I mean, like this was, 40 miles inland, and we had to go 4 or 5 feet deep to get to these guys.
Wow.
So just imagine, either you go from West Coast or East Coast and you go into Arizona, just imagine the depth that you would have to go to get to them. So yes, but we're talking like really deep. Now, if you go into Bakersfield, California, but California is on the West Coast, so you don't have to go as far inland to get to the actual fossils. Finding a megalodon there is pretty few and far between, but you'll get some beautiful colors. My light is deterring that, but Bakersfield, California can produce some, blues and oranges and yellows and greens and purple. You literally never know what you're going to pop out of Bakersfield. But Bakersfield, California produces some of the prettiest teeth that I have ever seen in my entire life. I mean, the low country, how do you know where to dig? So how did you find that tooth since it has no fillings? I know, right? Can't metal detect that. There's no fillings in there. So knowing how to dig, you really just have to know the formation. I mean, we were there for 3 years, and that's all I would do is get on Google Maps, and I would get on Google Maps and I would start at the ocean. And I would work my way inland, and I would hit, say, the Pamlicos or the Cooper River. And then the Cooper River houses lots of megalodons and teeth and fossils and everything else. But you even move further inland from the Cooper River, which branches off of the ocean, and then you'll hit some creeks. Say you'll hit, if you just follow Google Maps and everything, you'll find branches from the Cooper River that are creeks and different types of waterways. And if you jump into one of those, that is, chest deep and you're shoveling and scooping and sifting, you're likely going to find some fossils for sure.
So you just go out someplace and say, this looks like a good spot. Let me dig a hole right here and and find something.
And in South Carolina, absolutely. Absolutely. But it's weird though, because the different formations in South Carolina are different. So like it's almost like, imagine a wave, how it comes up and it crashes and then it goes back up and then it crashes. That's literally how a formation will do. You'll hit a pocket and you'll dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and find teeth. And then you'll dig out of the pocket, and then you keep digging and you dig into a pocket, and it's the wildest thing. But I did a lot of research on different formations. We have the Ashley Formation, the Chandler Bridge Formation, from the basically Oligocene time frame. But you just do your research and they'll find you, basically. So me and my wife used to dig megs in the Peace River. Peace River is amazing. We used to go to Venice, Florida, and dive a lot with a charter. And he used to put us on some awesome teeth. But that's a little bit different. When you're digging like we do in South Carolina, you just kind of pop them out with each shovel scoop that you do. Not each shovel scoop, but you may have to dig a foot back into the layer before you're popping out teeth. But in Venice, you get down there 40 feet and you move away that sand and that debris and stuff, and you're gonna find them. We love diving in Venice. It is a lot like, I've never really went gold mining dredging, but it's a lot like doing gold, because when we're in rivers and creeks and we jump in, we'll have a 2-foot sifter and it's just kind of floating on top of the water, and then we get shovels or our hands and we'll just scoop the material into the sifter and then sift it, and then teeth pop out. And we'll toss away the rest and keep the teeth. So it's
are
fun.
they opalized?
Are they opalized? Fossilized? Yes. I'm not familiar with the term opalized. Now, I will say that in certain mines in South Carolina, you will find them with crystallization on them. And but you have to actually find them. I've never been, but my friend has lots of teeth that have the crystallizations on them. Calcite Mines. If you go to Calcite Mines, you'll find fossils, and it'll literally have crystallization, the calcite growing onto the fossil, and it's awesome.
So let's see, TW, Oklahoma is well known for prehistoric fossils. So you think there are teeth here?
Yeah. Fossils more so, teeth maybe, but we're talking the prehistoric fossils that are in Oklahoma are kind of what's in Texas. They're even older than the megalodons. Like these have not even come into existence with the fossils that you're digging up, so they're not in the same time frame, if that makes sense. Is it possible? Sure, but you're probably going to find different types of fossils than you are going to find actual megalodon and shark's teeth. This tooth is, we got an offer about a few days after we dug it. We got an offer for, I think, $700 for it, but the work that you put into it and just the rareness and everything of this tooth, it's not worth it to me. So I keep them. To the right collector, 5.5 inches, South Carolina, probably anywhere from $800 to $1,000. But I don't put value on something like this that we work so hard for. Prehistoric. Your mother-in-law? Hey, no comment. I plead the fifth. Nope. I just had a birthday. I'm out on that one.
Man, and I was going to say, I'll trade you some gold for that tooth there. That's a pretty cool tooth.
It is. It is. This is definitely going to be in the collection for a long time and get passed down to our kiddo.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
But Western North Carolina, you can't really find. You can find Native American artifacts. You can find arrowheads, things like that up here, relics, but you're not really going to find these guys up in Western North Carolina. So in the meantime, when I have not been fossil hunting since September, so in order to feed that itch that I get, I go metal detecting and bottle hunting and Native American artifacts hunting. I haven't quite grasped all of that yet. I have a buddy that just speaks a totally different language, and when it comes to all that, can I be one of your kids? I mean, I'll give you a Bakersfield tooth.
So you've been out to Bakersfield then in California to collect those teeth?
I have not actually. So we lived out in 29 Palms, California, which is like a desert, just a tiny little hole in the wall in California, which was about 7-8 hours from Bakersfield. But I didn't know then what I know now when it comes to the fossils. So if that would have been the case, I would have been making like weekend trips up there all the time. But I do fossil repairs. Meaning like if a tooth comes broken and the root is broke off or something and somebody wants to make a necklace out of it and they just want to put it in a display box or whatever, I will repair the tooth so that it's whole again and that they can use it as a necklace or a display piece or something like that. And so I did some work for a guy, and in payment of what I did for him, he paid me in Bakersfield teeth, since I would not be able to go out there and find them myself. So I was very appreciative of that, to have, North Carolina, South Carolina, California, Virginia. I have Baja, Mexico teeth. I have about 5 or 6 different locations of teeth, or states, countries of teeth. Indonesia. So I have a few different variety of teeth in my collection that I could, tell you exactly where each of them came from. So just like any collector, you want gold from different places of the world.
So you have to come to Arizona and find some teeth in Arizona then.
Yeah. Oh, Tripping Tommy, he was in 29 Palms. I mean, I liked it, but I think what I liked most about it were the people. The people that I met there, the friends that I had there, things like that. But I don't know that I would move back there again per se, but I liked everything that it had around it. So we were, 2.5 hours from LA, 2.5 hours from San Diego, 3 hours from Vegas, a few hours from Arizona. So I liked the environment of it because of the people and because of the atmosphere and because of what it offered. But I don't know that I would move back there. Check it off my bucket list. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Don't know that I'll go back.
Well, let's see. So you're in South Carolina then?
Right now, I'm in North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
I've been, let's see, North Carolina. Oh, let's see, where was I at in North Carolina? I was over there someplace. I forget. I know Dahlonegah's in Georgia, South Carolina. South Carolina, North Carolina. There's a gold camp, I believe, there someplace. I forget the name of that gold camp in North Carolina there. I forget even where I was at there. But anyway, I was there in North Carolina once upon a time.
Yes, yes. So my parents are from Western North Carolina, up in the mountains. So it's a totally different world. You know, we had snow last week and it was 70 degrees today. So it's, different world. But I travel into Jacksonville, North Carolina a lot because that's where we're going to be moving to once we get everything going. So they just gave me the definition of opalized. So yes, I guess from your description, then they would be opalized, but our little low country term is, which this one does not have one, and I don't have one in hand with me right now that I can give you a idea of it, but we call them lightning strikes. But I guess the correct term would be opalized. But when you get a tooth that comes in contact with a lot of water, say when you're digging it out of the ground and you are near a creek, you will likely come across a tooth that they'll be really, 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 really white because that water strips it of its nutrients and it almost blanches it out. And so, or if like a tree root comes in contact with the tooth and say the tree root lays across the tooth like this, then when you pull the tooth out of the ground, there'll be a white streak that runs across it because that's where the water and the root exposure was. And right just in that specific location is where it strips it from its nutrients. So this is not a great description, or I don't know if you can see that, but see how that one is darker at the bottom and lighter at the top? That would be a good description of being opalized, I would imagine, because that's how I describe them when I get a tooth and I'm like, oh, it's got lightning strikes on it. I know that means that it was exposed to water, different mineralizations, and that in that exact location is where all the nutrients were stripped from it, if that makes sense. So I call it lightning strikes, but I guess it would be opalized, and I like it. I'm going to get more professional.
So when you find a tooth like that, does that mean the shark maybe just lost his tooth, or do you find them where you find like the whole where the shark died?
No.
And you find all of them.
No, imagine a shark losing a tooth in the ocean, right? Say 50 miles offshore, but then 100 to 300 years later, it finally makes its way to shore. And that is its final resting place. And that is where someone actually picks it up. Now, yes, there are occasions where people will find, basically a full megalodon intact, mostly in different countries. But we mainly find whales here. And the only part of the shark and the whale that actually fossilizes is the teeth and the vertebrae. Vertebrae, tomato. But so when you actually find a shark fully intact, you would find several teeth, and then alongside of it would be a vertebra. But that's very, 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 very rare. So it would be like this shark losing its tooth out in the ocean, and then when the water settles, that was its final resting place. And
so
then
how old do you estimate that tooth to be?
15, 20 million years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How big of a shark was that?
So per inch of the tooth is 10 foot of the shark. So this one, where it was 5.5 inches, this was a frontal tooth, meaning it was a top, and it was right on front, or right in the front. So this would have been about the biggest tooth that they would have had. So anywhere, probably about 50 feet. This shark was about a 50-foot long shark.
That's huge.
And a school bus is what, 60 feet? So a little shy of a school bus.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Yes, Daniel said the first gold rush was in the U.S. was actually in North Carolina. Yes, that is correct. It was.
Hey, point me in the right direction. I'll go hunt some gold too, but count me out. I don't even know where to start there.
Well, in North Carolina, it was actually found at Reed's Farm. So it was in North Carolina. And yes, Ted, I'm still in Meadview area. Let's see. So sharks have many rows of teeth.
They do. They have multiple rows of teeth. So when one falls out, they can lose up to thousands of teeth in a lifetime. Because when one falls out, another one replaces it. And when that one falls out, the one replaces it in the back. And so on and so on. It's a continuous cycle. I kind of wish we had that too, so that when we got some bad ones, we could just replace it with a new one. Going to need a real big net, and a bigger boat.
Yeah.
And a boat.
Let's see. Daniel said, I think I read about North Carolina gold in the ICMJ or something. That's right. ICMJ. Speaking of ICMJ, they're one of our people that pay our bills. So before I forget, why don't we take a quick break and I will let them pay my bill. Can you hang with us, Brittany? Okay. We'll be right back, folks.
ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal is the only monthly gold prospecting magazine published in the United States and is the most comprehensive and respected magazine about gold prospecting on the market today. With readers in all 50 states, it features articles on detecting, high banking, dredging, small-scale operations, assaying, basic geology, how to read the land, regulations, and more. Our monthly Ask the Experts column is answered by true experts. It features answers to readers' questions on processing, detecting, geology, and any other questions you may have related to finding and recovering gold and other precious metals. The Mining Journal features the most extensive selection of equipment, mining properties, services, and more, and a classified section featuring over 20 times more new and used items than the nearest competitor. The Mining Journal has been in continuous publication since 1931. A full 12 issues is available for just $27.95, and discounts are available for 2- and 3-year subscriptions. And an online subscription gives you access to over 3,000 articles going back nearly 20 years. Our purpose is to teach you how to find more gold. ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal is the tool you need to succeed. It's time to raise your gold prospecting knowledge to the next level with ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal. Give us a call at 831-479-1500 or visit www.icmj.com. That's www.icmj.com.
All right. So, hey, Brittany, I got something to show you here.
Okay.
So, Randy, I know Randy's in there. I saw Randy. We had an event, and he gave me this here thing. This is back on the East Coast, back there. And what he called this is a coon pecker.
Okay.
Have you seen something like that back there?
Negative. You want to fill me in?
Randy?
Where you at, Randy?
Randy,
Not
right there. So apparently, coons have bones for the pecker,
Okay.
and it's kind of like the gooseneck or the well. Oh man, we're getting off topic now.
I'm here for it though, so let's go.
Randy, help me out here, buddy. What I'm talking about,
Go.
the whales like in Alaska, when the whale dies, everybody runs out to grab the tusk
Right.
and their pecker because it's walrus. I'm sorry, walrus.
Okay.
So walruses have this big bone, and they use them for like walking sticks.
Okay.
Well, this is a small version.
Yeah.
This is a coon.
You can't use that as a walking stick. I'm sorry.
Well, you could if you're little. So you guys we don't have coons here in Arizona. I don't know if you have them back there.
I mean, like raccoon.
Randy, is it a raccoon or coon? I don't know what you're talking about. A coon, raccoon?
Yes, the raccoon is a short term for a raccoon, but I'm just trying to make sure I'm on the right page.
Well, anyway, they have little peckers like this here, so they're bones. So you could start collecting coon peckers.
Okay, but is it gold?
No, I think he painted it gold.
Okay. That would make more sense because
Raccoon. Yeah, okay, raccoon. David said raccoon.
Okay.
So you could start collecting a bunch of these.
Hey, we got a lot of coon hunters around here. I'll just tell them that I want to start getting those from them. Use them as walking sticks, though.
You want their?
We would have to come up with a different idea for them.
Anyway, so Randy did this, and he told me I had to wear it on my neck and to give me good luck.
I was going to say maybe it brings you good luck, so I'm there for it. I would do that. Yeah, maybe you can go get you a scratch off. Go wear it and get you a lottery ticket.
Yeah, well, it didn't help me today.
Oh, that's right. So that's why you're drinking wine. I forgot.
That's
I forgot
right, because
that.
I'm whining today.
Understand. I went out.
Well, how long have you been back? So how long have you been looking for teeth?
Oh gosh. My dad started taking me beach combing, fossil hunting, shark's tooth hunting. And when I was little, we used to get the little film canisters and fill them up with teeth from Myrtle Beach. I was probably 7 or 8. So 26, 27 years, but really into it lately for the past 3 or 4 years, just because I realized that I could go from this to this, same with gold. If you can find little tiny gold flakes versus the Mac Daddies, then you're going to obviously go with that too. So.
Well, here's the biggest piece of gold I found on my journey, right there.
Hey, I mean, that's pretty big though. What do you think that would make? Would that make like that would make a good earring, right?
Oh, that'd make a good necklace.
A good necklace, right? A good pendant for a necklace.
Yeah. These right here would make some earrings.
So I think I asked you this before, but what do you usually do with it when you find all this stuff like that?
I get rid of it. I keep my gold.
Really?
I buy, sell, trade all the time.
But you work so hard on it.
I do, but I work hard to. You look so disappointed.
I'm not disappointed. I'm really not. I'm just stating the facts that I know that it. Oh what? Yep. No. I got me a steel penny. You want to trade?
Yeah. Hey, what year?
I don't remember. There's only 1 year. Steel pennies only came out in 1943. When I see what you did there. Okay. Okay. Good one.
I was going to say, if it was in 1956, I'll trade you.
No such thing. No such thing.
Oh, no,
That
gold to me is fun to find, but once you find it, you take pictures of it, and then it's time to move on. But you
I
know
agree.
what? Gold is all over the place. But yes, finding a tooth like that, I bet you everybody in North Carolina or everybody out looking for that type of teeth can't say they found one. I
Right.
mean, what's kind of the percentage? How many people actually have one to those that are looking for them?
So the magic number is the 6-inch megalodon, because that was the one that came from like the 60 to 65-foot shark, right? So 6 inches is the magic number. And when I say magic number, if you were to find this and it would have been a 1/2 inch longer, this would have been about a $3,000 tooth instead of a $700, $800, $900 tooth. So the value of it increases drastically. But I mean, out of all the people that I know that hunt actively in South Carolina, I know of maybe a handful that have one close to that, very close to that. And so the odds of finding one is very, very rare. And my husband has that mindset of, oh, we'll find more. We'll find more. Let's sell this one. We'll find more. I'm like, no. We spent like 2 days hunting these teeth, and we basically can walk away with, some nice small ones and one huge one. I'm like, I cannot do that. I can't. Maybe later on down the road, but I don't need the money that bad. This means more to me than a few $100 bills that I'm just going to go spend on shoes and clothes. So,
No, I understand. So, okay, so you said that you repair teeth.
yes.
Okay, so why can't you now? I don't want to get technical here, but we're talking inches. Okay, so when we're talking inches, how come you can't repair that one to make it just another inch bigger?
People would know. I'd be done for. I'd be done for. Game over. Count me out. I'd be done.
Okay.
The fossil industry. Okay, what if I took your biggest gold piece, and just threw it in some mica or something? Like, yeah, it's like twice as big now. Give me more money for it. No, sorry, no, don't work that way.
Okay, Terry. Now be careful here, now, sir. So, okay, now, so when you measured that, you're talking about your husband says he wants to sell it. So I could almost see, you know what, you can find another one. So, but yet I can see your side too, that you can't find them every day. So we kind of compromise and say, well, if we find another one bigger, we will sell the little one. But when it comes to measuring that tooth, you said if it would just been a little bit bigger, it would have been worth more money. So who's measuring it,
Yeah.
you or your husband?
Me, by my calipers, and it says 5.50 something. But all right, you got to think proportion. If this root, if I would make it just a little bit longer, it's going to look terrible, and it's going to look fake, and it's going to look awful, and I will be called out big time for trying to make this tooth something that it's not. Because trust me, you get these Indonesian fossil sellers, if they're not a trustworthy person, they'll say, oh, I got the 6.5-inch megalodon tooth, but half of it's the matrix which you found it in, or the material which you found it in, and they just didn't want to chisel it all away, so they'll keep it, another 1/2 inch longer just to make it look bigger, and it's really not. It's really not at all. So you don't want to go down that road.
All right, I understand. Then
All right.
I was just trying to think that maybe it'd be worth more money for you. I was just trying to help you out there.
I know, I understand, and I appreciate that. So, for instance, this one right here, this one is a repair. So I repaired this tooth. When I found it, it had no root on it whatsoever. So when I repaired it, I basically just made it look whole. and more natural. This is a crow shark's tooth, or a squally corax, mind you. But when I found it in Myrtle Beach, like all of this part, basically all of that was gone. And it was just the blade. It was just kind of the shiny enamel part. But I made it into a full tooth just so that I can display it nicely. So I will never sell this tooth because it is the only one that I have in my collection. And I don't know how I had it in there. But anyway, so now it just makes for a nice little display piece. So.
Okay, so I've got to use my ESP right now.
Okay.
Is your husband's name Brian?
How would you guess? Go on somewhere, Brian. Who are you? Acetone and UV light. All right, go on. I don't know this man.
So, is that true that under UV lights you can see repairs?
You can see where the actual root is and where the epoxy starts. So yeah, throw it under some water, that paint will start to come away. Throw it under a UV light, you'll be able to see some stuff. Acetone, sure. Get off Google, Brian, go back to bed or something. I don't know.
So how come he's not sitting next to you helping you show off your stuff?
Jacksonville. He's in Jacksonville, North Carolina. We're 6 hours away from each other right now.
Oh.
So.
He's in the military?
Yes.
Well, tell him thank you for your service.
Did you hear that, Brian? Thank you for your service. No, but that's why we move so much. But a plus thing for me is I get to get in on my hobbies because we basically just move from coast to coast. You know, we go, you can go Virginia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, California, all the fossil coast. So I'm good. I'm good no matter where I go.
So wherever he's stationed at, you have to go then.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
well,
yep.
you get to see parts of the country then. That's pretty
right.
Cool.
I love it. That's why I'm not complaining about 29 Palms. It was probably one of the smallest bases that we've ever been at, but I would not take any of it back because just the people that we met there and the memories, and I loved it. Loved it.
So Brian says you're welcome. Brian, make sure you tell all them people around you the same too. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So without all you guys, we wouldn't be out here looking for shark's teeth. We wouldn't be out looking for gold. We wouldn't be able to be out here exploring and enjoying the freedoms that we enjoy. So
that's right.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So is that really what you get into the most is shark teeth?
It is, but honestly, when I'm not able to do shark's teeth, I like to metal detect because you can metal detect anywhere you go. Like, I was just down in Jacksonville. We went to Topsail Island, which is near one of the military bases, but it's not, right on base, but it's a beach and it's beautiful and you never know what you're going to find there. But my second favorite hobby is metal detecting, and I like to look for relics, Civil War, World War I, II, American Revolutionary. I'm here for it. It don't matter if it's an old home site and I'm finding old coins or just anything that tells a story. I'm all about it. Count me in. And history in high school was not my strong suit, but the older I get, the more I appreciate it and the more I like it and the more that I want to learn about it. And I'm like, why didn't you do this? You had the opportunity, but no. So now I'm having to relearn it all.
Well, I'll tell you, I would rather hunt for treasures and artifacts than I would for gold.
Yeah. it has more of a story, it gives more of a story. So not long ago, I was out in North Carolina and I was metal detecting and found this nice little 3-ringer. And I thought when I picked it up and I pulled it out of the ground, this one was dropped. It was not fired. It has been dropped. And it was from a battle that was in 1865, end of the Civil War, basically. But I thought, here one of these soldiers held this in their hand, and who knows if it just fell out of their pocket, out of their, or if they were trying to like load their weapon and it dropped and then, they got shot. Like, I don't know the story, but I like to imagine it in my mind. When I find pieces like this, I like to stop and take a minute. Even I will stop and just take a minute and look around just to try and figure out or try and remember like what it used to look back or what it used to look like back then. To me, it's woods. There's trees everywhere. It's all grown up. I barely have enough room to, swing my metal detector, but what did it look like back then? And just finding this one versus one that was fired, it just really puts it into perspective for me. Did this one, shoot down someone? I don't know. Did it? Or did it miss its target? Did it hit a tree? I don't know. But then versus this one that was just dropped and, what happened in this scenario. So it's just, I don't know. It's history. And you can kind of make up your own situation with it if you want. But I just, I'm fascinated by it. So, versus.
Well, I'm curious why you thought it was dropped because, out at the campground, metal detecting behind the place, I found a 3-ringer back there too. And it really baffled me why there was one of those back there. But then I've heard, like people still had their muzzle loaders and all that came from back east. And, that's all they had in the days of fighting the Indians and everything else. But it has a cone underneath it, I guess, where it's a cone shape underneath the thing.
Yeah.
And the one I found was all white. Now, that one looks kind of white, too.
Yes.
And what I was told was the older they are, they turn white because that's the arsenic that's leaching out of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes. So this one was dropped. And this was not even, so I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all in the same little area within probably a 20-foot radius of each other. And case shots, fired case shot, or, shrapnel, and basically, so 1, 2, 3 case shots, 2, 3 ringers, three ringers. And then when I jumped back on to basically the main area to start walking back, I jumped back down into the woods and found a soda pop can and a pull tab and this. So it's like this one was literally all by itself. So whether someone was walking, to point A to point B and dropped it, or was walking from point A to point B and got caught in gunfire, I don't know. But just how this one was all by itself in the same type of radius area that I was hunting versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pieces that were found within a 20-foot radius, that were all fired. So you can kind of tell where the area was that was in heavy fire, under heavy fire, versus the area that was not. So I just like to put in little stories in my mind or replay it how I think it might have went.
Well, so you said detector. So what kind of detector do you like to use?
I have the trusty old Nocta Macro Simplex or Simplex Macro. It is very user friendly. It is good for a beginner. I don't know that I would want to go with anything else right now just because I'm used to it. I'm learning it. It is kind of grown with me, and it definitely gets the job done. Definitely gets it. It has probably 5-6 different settings on it, and I'm learning each setting as I go, and it's been great for me. I love it.
Well, that detector, along with like the Deus 2 and Deuses and a few others, we're dealers for those people. And
Yeah.
actually, he's going to be on the show next week
Oh,
to
really?
talk about those detectors and maybe give some hints and tips and all of that about all of those type of detectors. So
Ooh, you'll have to send me that link so that I can watch it for sure because I'm all about learning it even more. Because just when I think I've got it good and understood, then something new pops up and I'm like, whoa, I didn't know this.
the who? With the passion for history like that, I can't even tell you how much I admire that. Other than gold, my passion for history is what I'm meant to. Okay.
And if I knew gold, if I knew how to, where to start all of that, it would be when I'm passionate about something, it's real. Like you dream about it, you think about it all the time. You got to get out there and do something.
It, you know, it's funny because talking to somebody on the East Coast a while back, they said, well, we would love to come out there and be able to, you guys got the West Coast and all that gold and all that history. We don't have that out there. I said, yeah, but you guys got all that Civil War and all that stuff out there, and we don't have all that out here.
Exactly.
So let's trade for a while.
It's a different kind of history. Exactly. Yep. You watch all of these shows. I think I was watching, not Yellowstone, but 1883, and they're doing like the Western movement and all that. And I'm like, man, I just want to go detect out there. Like, where were they? Where can I go? I just want to go.
So Brian says she has so many passions.
I do. I
love it.
But that's what I do when I get passionate about something. It kind of sticks with me. So, gifted.
So well, you guys have back there. You got that American Digger magazine.
Yes.
They did an article a couple months ago of us and some of the gold that we had found out here.
Yeah.
In that magazine. I don't know if you saw that or not, but
I didn't. I got. I think the last one I got was when they did Dig Stock because I was the photographer or something for it. So I basically only. I don't think I subscribed to it, but I need to look into that and see if I have that one with you guys in it.
I think that was 2 months ago. It wasn't last month. It was a month before, I think it was. But yeah, he's been on the show. Nice folks back there. But there's Kelly. I think Kelly. I can't think what his name is. He's back there someplace. But he once upon a time says that he sent me some of those 3 ringers. And
Yep.
I sent him some gold. So we made a trade.
Because they're right. You have your history and we have ours, and you kind of just adapt to whatever history is near you so that you can be active in it. I've got a few sites where I have. One is Revwar, and I'm close, but not quite in the sweet spot. So I've been trying to go back as much as possible. I keep finding like old oxen shoes and stuff. So I know I'm close, but I'm not quite in the sweet spot yet. So I've got to keep going back and get into it because I really want to find some good stuff. But yeah, we have Civil War trails that go all through the state. I could literally just hop from one site to another. But again, you got to know the history of it and where to go and what to look for and stuff like that. So.
And you guys back there, you guys have, see, out here we have BLM, Bureau of Land Management. So we have a lot of open ground where on the East Coast, you guys don't have that because everything's under private property and stuff like that. So
not as much, but we do have some. We do have some where, you know, it's just government and nobody really bothers you and it's not protected and it's not like a national park or anything like that. But again, you just got to kind of know where to go so that you're not stepping on toes and trespassing and stuff like that. So, but again, it calls for a lot of research, a lot of different things.
So how do you do most of your research then to know where you can go at and hunt or detect at even?
I do a lot of Google Maps and Google can tell you a lot of different things on who owns what property and, you know, where you can get your permissions at and things like that, just because, I mean, that's the last thing you want to do is step on ground that you think is, you know, government owned and not protected, and then somebody come up behind you and be like, hey, you're on my property, you know. So you can learn a lot by and I'm from the actual town that I do a lot of my hunting in, so I honestly can go word of mouth. I can ask my mom and dad, you know, hey, who owns this property by this place or that place? And they'll say, oh, so and so. I will either call them, I'll go knock on their door, I'll text them or send them a Facebook message and be like, hey, so you got this property, do you mind? And usually they're like, go for it. And most of the time I will say, you know, I'm just in it to do exposure, content, and the experience, things like that. And I'll say, if it is family property, if it is sentimental value, I will give it to you. I'll give you what I find. You can have the option of what you want and what I'm allowed to keep. And, you know, we'll just call it done. But I would just like the opportunity to go and metal detect it. And usually 99% of the time they're like, go for it.
You know, I find that amazing. And I've heard I was back years ago, I had a chance to go up to Upper UP in Michigan. I had a friend up there and he invited me up there and we went out and we were looking for Indian artifacts.
Yeah.
You know, copper stuff that were in, you know, arrowheads and all that. And then we went into town and all of a sudden he pulls over and he goes up and I'm looking out the window and he goes up and knocking out the door, you know, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? And then he comes back and says, come on, we can go detect their yard. And I said, are you freaking insane? You went and knocked on somebody's door and asked them and check their yard? You know, it's like, oh my.
Yep. That is the way 90% of permissions are found is door knocking. And you just got to have the gonads to do it, because if not, then you're just going to be like, I wonder what's in there. You know, it's that wishful thinking.
Well, I could never do that myself, but I'm glad, I wished I had friends that could do that.
Well, you do. You obviously do.
Yeah, well, that was several years ago, but man, I was embarrassed, you know.
That's funny. You just got to go up with respect and, you know, that Southern charm and just be like, hey, you know, I noticed you got nice property. It looks old. I would like to detect it. I will respect it. You won't even know I'm here, and whatever I find, it's yours. I just want it for the experience and the content and all that fun stuff. And usually they're appreciative.
But they're looking over you all the time, where they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to go dig up my property and dig up.
You know, and sometimes I will say, you know, if it's like a historic site or a home that's still being used or something like that, I will say, if you want to join me, you are more than welcome. Just so that they know that I'm not trying to, you know, dig up these ginormous holes and leave them and whatnot. I'm trying to get them to understand that I'm going to respect your property. I'm going to treat it as it were my own. You know, I just want to see what's here. So I do not care if I have company. I don't.
Well, that I find that just totally. Anyways, I mean, me personally, I like to. So like, I'm on vacation now, and I'll be on vacation for 3 months.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm sitting up here. I've been up here for over a week, almost 2 weeks up in the desert, just looking for gold.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave here, and then I research the towns that I'm going to, like old movie theaters or old
Uh-huh.
parks, because those are where I'm going to stop and go metal detect on my way. But I'm kind of embarrassed because when I'm in a park metal detecting, every single kid in that park is standing, "What you finding, mister? What you doing, mister?" It's like
Put on your
embarrassing.
headphones and just be like, sorry, can't hear you. Busy.
No Espanol.
No, no habla español. Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna let you talk for a second. I got to go find something here.
You got to find something. Well, I was going to ask you where you found your permissions.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
my commission.
No, but I love it all. If it's a hunt and a challenge for me, then I'm all for it. Deer, I don't turkey hunt, but fossils, relics, bottles. We have an old. I think my town was established in 1885, and we have a old bottling company that used to be here in Oak Park, and it was established in 1903, I believe. And so I have a permission where I can go dig old bottles, but the bad thing is it kind of goes up underneath a main road, so there's only so much digging you can find. But it was or so much digging you can do, but it was an old bottle dump, and we found all kinds of old bottles from the early 1900s, hutch bottles out the wazoo, just bottlers that were trying to get their name out, and were using a bigger bottling company to do that. The Gayola Bottling Company, which was a soda company. I still have not found the infamous amber Gayola soda bottle, but I did find one that was even older than that, which I need to count my blessings there because we had 4 at one time, and there's only like 12 known. But I think the population during that time was only like 149, something like that. So very small town. You missed a good story. Where'd you go?
I heard every word you said.
All right.
I said I had to go grab something.
Okay. Okay, good. That's all that matters.
No, I heard about all the bottle dumps and everything. But I was going to ask you about that. But no, somebody said a while back about Prospecting Club where I'm at. I am on a private mining claim.
Okay.
It's owned by Gold Fever Prospecting Club.
Oh, okay.
And they can join that through goldfeverradio.com.
Uh-huh.
So I had to go find. That's my claims guide that gives you all the claims where you can go at and prospect.
Okay.
So bottles. So I have a bunch of bottles, and I was wondering how do you research, or how do you go about identifying the bottles, their worth? How do you even know where the bottle dumps are located at?
Truly, well, I only know the one from here, and there's one in a little town not even 5 minutes up the road in Newland, North Carolina. It was an old Coca-Cola factory, and where the factory used to be is now like a Avery True Hardware something. It's an old hardware store, and then a lot of the other places around it are nail salons, restaurants, things like that. So they've been built on top of, so I don't even know that there is one around there now. I would love to get up underneath that building, but that would be probably trespassing. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that. But honestly, it just kind of is known to my location, my little town that I'm in. I start small and then kind of work my way out. But I haven't made it too far out, and then it starts going over my head. So I'm like, I ain't going there. So you just got to do the research. Like if you live in a small town, or if you live in a town, I think we have 2 Facebook pages, and it's like the history of Avery County or the history of whatever. And you can just scroll through there, search in keywords and stuff like that, and you learn all kinds of stuff. But I personally know the person that owns the property where the old bottling company used to be. I went to high school and middle school and elementary school with their kids. So that was an easy permission. But other than that, I don't go too much further than that.
Well, I've got some old books that tell you kind of like, I like to go hunt old ghost towns. I like to hunt old railroad stops. And generally, I mean, I don't know what it's like out there, but out here, there's a railroad stop about every 10 to 15 miles. They would have these stops. And if you could find the stops and go out and detect around, the old railroad stops, some of them now are on private property or whatever. I know a while back, you mentioned Coca-Cola. I was at a railroad stop and I'm detecting, and I found an old Coca-Cola can that was all intact. And it was the old type ones that you even had to have the church key to open that up. And the sad thing was, I put my pick through it when I pulled it out of the ground. But
I have a few shark's teeth like that I actually did the shovel right into it, and I'm like, heart broke.
yeah.
Yes, that happens more so than none. But Coca-Colas are a dime a dozen, cans, bottles, but it really comes down to if you find one from a really, really, really small town. Like say it was from the early 1900s, you look at the population of that town during 1903, and if it were like under 500, then that's a small town and that's a rare bottle, but like ones I find, they're a dime a dozen. You find them in every antique store, every vintage mall, antique mall, anywhere you go into, you're going to find them. But it's really just finding those really small towns that mean anything. And just where I'm, from the area, I always wanted those bottles because they meant more to me. Kind of like this little apple ladder here. This means more to me because it came from my grandfather's apple orchard, So it just has that sentimental value to me.
Nope, that's totally true.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody got any other questions they would love to ask this professional treasure hunter?
Professional.
Shark tooth.
We might want to reel that in a little bit. No, I'm hoping to get to at least 2 or 3 more sites in the next few months. So hopefully by the next time I talk to you guys, I'll have some really cool stuff to show you.
Cool. So did you say that you have a YouTube channel?
Yes. It's literally Selfies and Shark's Teeth, kind of like the name on here, but I think it may be all one word. Instagram and YouTube. Now, I have not posted on YouTube in a hot minute because where we're in between moves and all that stuff, I haven't really put together. I feel like when you post on YouTube, you need it to be like a 4, 5, 6 minute video. And usually my hunts lately have been like 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh, cool. I found 1 coin. I'm good to go. It's more like a TikTok than it is a YouTube video.
YouTube is so funny because sometimes I mean, generally, I think YouTubers are around 15 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes,
Right.
because they want they want
the content. Yes.
the time.
Yes.
And sometimes, yeah, there could be a video there that will get several views, and sometimes there'll be a video there will get absolutely hardly any views. It's
Right.
funny how YouTubers work.
Yes.
But feel free. No, all of that stuff. You post that stuff. Feel free to post that on our websites.
Okay.
That people can go follow you or go check your YouTube channel out. If they're not a subscriber on that, they can go subscribe to your channel there to follow you.
Cool deal. Yep. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I do it all because I'm always trying to keep myself busy doing fun stuff. We only got one life, you got to just live it. Do all the things.
Do you got kiddos? Do I hear kiddos in the background?
I think it's my dad watching Westerns, honestly. I don't think it's my child. I do have an 8-year-old, but I think it's the father watching his Westerns. Yeah. So the other child.
Let's see, TW says, Carolina area, are you finding any colonial artifacts?
No, unfortunately, I'm not. So I'm big into Outlander right now. Have you watched Outlander on Netflix? No. Oh, it's so
I don't have TV up here.
Well, it's just Netflix. You can't.
I don't have Netflix.
Okay. Well,
I know the show though. Yeah. It's
good, and it's based out of like 1745 to 1780 ish, and the season that I'm in now, they're actually settled here in North Carolina, up near Grandfather Mountain, which was one of my first jobs that I ever had. I worked there in high school, and that's where they do the big Highland games and everything, and that's where they called Fraser's Ridge up there, and it's like Grandfather Mountain, and I'm like, how can I get permission to go metal detect Grandfather Mountain? Probably not gonna happen, but it sounds really good. So I could probably find some up there, but that's probably way off limits. I'd go to jail if I went up there.
No.
Maybe not.
I'm trying to see where in the heck I was at there in North Carolina. I still haven't thought about that there. Where the heck that was at in North Carolina?
Eastern, Western, Central?
It would be in the Little Point.
Wait,
west.
No, I think you told me about this last time. And I said that I don't know that I was familiar with the area you were in. Was it recently or?
No, it's been a. I can't think of what. I know there's a little.
I think you told me about it, and I was not too familiar with the area that you had mentioned.
Okay, well then we won't worry about it then.
I think. If I remember correctly.
I can't even think of the town because I used to have to go up and get my laundry done at the town there.
I don't know why I'm saying like Bryson City or up near Asheville, maybe.
Asheville. Well, let's see. Asheville kind of sounds familiar. I don't even know
where I'm at right now. I'm very, very close to the Tennessee line. Very close.
Well, Tennessee. You're over there. Tennessee. There's a river over there that everybody from Tennessee goes over that has good gold on it.
Watauga River.
I can't think.
Or Elk River. Hey, you tell me where there's gold. I'm going for it.
There's a river over there that people go gold hunting on. A creek, Coker Creek. I think that's what it is. Coker Creek.
Burnsville?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't Burnsville, babe. He was he told me, but I can't remember where it was that. I want to say it was near Asheville, somewhere up near Asheville. maybe.
Let's see. LDMA has property in North Carolina. I know there's somebody on there that knows where that is. Anyways, I just know that anyways, they have gold back there. Anyways,
I'm sure there is, and I just don't know where it's at.
I don't know either.
Well, you need to do your research and come up here, and we'll go gold grid. Check that off my bucket list.
Vein Mountain. That's
Vein
what it
Mountain.
is. Thank you, Dennis. Vein Mountain.
I knew that it was something that I was not familiar with.
What's the name of that town, Dennis? That's right there. That's the Vein Mountain. Vein Mountain. There's the I can't forget what they call it. Anyway, that's in the part of all that. But yeah, anytime you get out here in this area of Arizona, you can come out and hunt gold anytime you want. We'll take you out to railroad stops. We'll take you out to some ghost towns.
Where Nebo. Okay.
Thank you, John.
So actually, the little town that I'm in right now, the Tweetsie Railroad used to run straight through it, and where the main highway is, the railroad used to run just right above it. And so the other day, I went to get gas, and I was driving through, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, that's the railroad grade right up there, or where it used to be. I'm like, that looks really flat in that area. I'm like, it had to have been some kind of like train stop, loading station, or something, and found a lot of trash. I think a lot of it may have been graded over, maybe, but I did find this little 1907 Indian head.
Oh, cool.
But I don't know. I just wanted to try it. I was there for like 20 minutes. But there was a railroad that went straight through us. Like that was what was our primary, transportation back in whenever it was first founded. So I just need to, everything's been built over. It's hard to find. 805. Hey, that's my favorite beer.
Yeah, 805. 805 is my favorite beer.
What? I can't get your beer. Stop it. Oh, come on. Oh, that's my favorite. I can't find it out here. So last time we moved, or our last trip from California out here, I came looking like a raging alcoholic because I came with about 10 cases because I got 5 for myself and 5 for my friend, and she took 5 with her and I kept 5, and it didn't last long enough, and I was really sad about it. So yes, 805 is my jam, and I can't get it out here at all.
Oh, well, see, generally I have an 805 for the show. And that's what Randy, he always says I have. So a few shows back, I says every friend should have an 805 in their fridge for when their friends come over. So Randy comes all the way out here where I'm prospecting and said, hey, I brought you an 805, buddy.
Cheers. Oh, man. Bring me one, please.
That's what I say. It's not an 805 day. It's a whiner day today.
It's always an 805 day. Always an 805 day. Oh,
yeah, 805,
man.
805s are pretty good. That's funny that you
and it's funny because, I have tried to find like an IPA that is remotely close to it or very similar. Nothing compares.
Well, anything made by that's Firestone. They're in they're in Northern California.
Northern California, yeah.
Yeah, anything they got Union Jack. They got all types of stuff. Anything made by that company is actually pretty good stuff.
We have Sierra Nevada, and that's about it.
Sierra Nevada is that's not bad either.
It's
So
not bad, but it's not 805.
It's not an 805. That's so funny that you think that to me is freaking funny.
That's my favorite. Okay, next time I'm on, I'm going to wear my tank top, my 805 tank top.
Okay.
You count on it, because it's happening.
So,
I got to get it out of storage, but it's happening.
So I'll have to send you an 805 in the mail then before you come on. We'll plan that for next time.
And then we need to tag them so that we can get sponsored, you know?
Oh, hey, yeah. That's right. 805.
805, yes. We'll tag them, we'll message them, we'll link them, we'll do it all. We'll do it all.
Will you work on that for us?
Yes, I will. I will. I will.
Oh, that's funny. Anyways, all right. We'll start wrapping this up here. Before we let you go, Brittany, we appreciate you taking time talking to us. Tell us again how everybody can follow you, and then why don't you give a piece of advice for maybe somebody that would like to go out and either treasure hunt or go out looking for shark's teeth? What's the best thing that they should go about it?
Oh, man. All right. Well, I would say piece of advice is to start small. If you think that you're going to go out on your very first hunt and find a 5.5 inch, this took us 2.5 years to find. 2.5 years. If you have that mindset of going out and finding this huge tooth or this awesome relic or this super rare coin, go ahead and brush that aside, because that's not going to happen. You need to start small and then work your way up. Do lots of research, make lots of friends, get lots of help, ask lots of questions. Never be afraid to ask a ton of questions, and that will get you to your goals, whatever those may be. But start small. Start small. And Instagram, selfies and shark's teeth, and YouTube, also selfies and shark's teeth. I will try and get a video up soon, and hope to be doing some more metal detecting soon. And I may just make one big old video of 2 or 3, 4 or 5 different hunts. That way we can make one good video of my oxen teeth and my Indian head pennies and my steel pennies, and from 1956. Man, I got a rare one. My 805. Man, I wish I had me an 805.
Next time.
Yep.
We'll put you back on the schedule. Get a bunch more stuff and show and tell, and we'll find them sponsors for 805. That'll be awesome.
I will. I'll see what I can do. I will.
Hey, all right. Hey, Brittany, we appreciate you taking some time and hanging with us on this.
Yeah.
I know you guys are a lot later back there than we are here.
It's still early. I'm a night owl. But yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Okay. Hey, take care of yourselves, and until we meet again, have yourself a fantastic week. And 805 to you, girl.
You too. Bye, guys.
All right. Hey, that's pretty cool. So glad she could join us this evening. But anyway, so I'm going to head on out of here. We appreciate you guys all hanging with us and spending your Wednesday with us again. We hope you have a fantastic week coming up. If you guys have had a fantastic day. But anyways, we appreciate each and every one of you guys hanging with us. If you're a channel supporter, Patreon supporter, we appreciate you. Or just go ahead and support the if you're not a YouTube whatever they call that, support the YouTube channel. Go in and become a like, share, subscribe YouTube. Anyways, appreciate all you guys. You guys all take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching. You guys all have a fantastic week. And you know what they say, till our paths cross again. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Love you
Get
guys.
up, everybody, there's nothing to lose. The boss has had you working like a barn mule. But the weekend's here, it's time to let out a yell.
Uh-oh, something went wrong. What did I do? I went up to look at the comments.
Get up, everybody, there's nothing to lose. The boss has had you working like a barn mule. But the weekend's here, it's time to let out a yell. Let yourself go, people, let me tell you, there's nothing else like it when you're out here feeling this good. Everyone wants to go.